Good afternoon. It's Monday, July 1. I'm Herman Green with your midday news. A special welcome to those of you watching online at onespotmedia.com. The government is being chastised this afternoon by the Police Federation for how members of the force are being treated, especially with the recent killing of one of its members. TVJ's O'Shane Masters tells us more.
What more must we do to get the attention we deserve? That's the question on the mind of the chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation. The question arises following the shooting of a constable in Wellington Town on the morning of May 8. Speaking at the funeral service for Constable Tudmar Allen on Sunday, Chairman of the Police Federation, Sergeant Petray Rowe, called for greater respect from the government in relation to members who have been killed in the line of duty. Sergeant Rowe says the same level of commitment which is given to other dignitaries, such as that of former Prime Minister Edward Seaga, should be provided to members of the security forces.
Too often police officers are killed and the celebration of life is not a national event. No flags are flown off mass, no tribute in Parliament, no statement of condemnation from government, human rights group, civic group, or Jamaicans at large.
Sergeant Rowe, who is also a close friend of the deceased cop, says no effort will be spared in bringing the perpetrators to justice.
We are committed. We are committing our support as a federation and by extension a batch and a constabulary force to ensure that anyone who had anything to do with his passing is found and justice is served. No longer should anyone take the life of a police officer and walk around a free man.
In the meantime, the Police Federation chairman has renewed his call for a monument to be erected in the National Heroes Park for fallen police officers.
Our sacrifices are too great. Our pains are too severe for a country to not accord homage when we pay the ultimate price in service to Jamaica.
It's understood that Constable Tudmar Allen stopped at a bar on Montague Street in Wellington Town. Two men approached, shot him, and fled the scene. He managed to run to the nearby Wellington Town police station and was taken to hospital, where he died. O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
Two men were fatally shot during an alleged confrontation with a joint security force team in Halls Delight, St. Andrew this morning. They have not been identified. The police say 3 9mm pistols were seized. About 6:30, the police say the security force team was alerted to the robbery of a black Toyota Wish motorcar in Papine. Acting on information, the team went to a section of Halls Delight where it came under attack from a group of heavily armed men. The police say the gunfire was returned and the men ran. During a search of the area, 2 men were found with bullet wounds. They were pronounced dead on arrival at hospital. The community of Pleasant Valley in Clarendon was sent into shock on Sunday morning after a common-law husband chopped his child's mother while she was asleep. He later set the house ablaze. Reports are that fire was seen coming from the dwelling and the fire brigade was called. Residents went to investigate, where they saw the woman with multiple chop wounds all over her body. She was rushed to hospital and remains there in critical condition. After the fire was put out, the remains of the man was found under a sheet of zinc. He has been identified as 28-year-old Mark Riley. TVJ News spoke with an emotional Lolita Williams, the mother of the deceased. She says it's unclear what might have led to the attack.
I really know what happened this morning. I don't know. So I get the matches this morning and top of and I find him body burned up in the house. Yesterday about him yesterday down at my workplace, I baby and I feed him. I didn't take it to heart. The about him, I didn't take it to heart.
The child was not hurt. In the meantime, there's an urgent appeal for blood for the woman. Member of Parliament for North Central Clarendon, Pernell Charles Sr., has threatened possible court action against Jamalco if the company does not honor its obligation. Mr. Charles says the bauxite mining company has a contract which stipulates that lands in the area that are mined out must be rehabilitated.
And I am advising the government, my government, and the area council that I intend to take street operation to get Moko rehabilitated. If the company fails, the government has the money that the company is supposed to pay. So the company must say whether they have paid the government the money or come and rehabilitate. And I'm not going to stand around in my fourth term and leave Moko in a mosquito.
Mr. Charles argues that he had several meetings with Jamaica's administrators, but to date, no action has been taken. He was speaking at an Area Council Forum meeting in the New Green Primary and Junior High School in Manchester yesterday.
And I'm not going back to no meeting with them. I'm going to the Bauxite Institute this week. I've written to the minister, as I have said, and we intend to take action, either civil action or street action, but something must be done.
And we now take a break here on the Midday News, but stay with us. More stories after these messages. Welcome back, continuing the news. Opposition Senator K.D. Knight did not mince words on Sunday when he declared his support for incumbent president of the People's National Party, Dr. Peter Phillips. Speaking at the James Mountain Community Center in Sligoville, St. Catharines, Sunday evening, Mr. Knight disclosed why he believes Dr. Phillips should remain as party president.
Along with the fact that this man, Peter David Phillips, having been exposed to all those ministries, comes out with an ironclad integrity. I gotta go with it. I gotta go with it. Because he has been exposed, but he has not fallen prey to greed.
But Mr. Knight also raised other concerns.
You have some politicians that come in, them used to drive a little car. Next thing you see them now, footing down the road in some big Benz and thing. So, where that money come from? You have to ask yourself. Yes. I don't understand. How come when he was, or she, when they were working before politics, they could afford this, but now they're gone into politics and in a short time, they can afford that. True. We have to take a stand. This damn rubbish where politicians believe that taxpayers' money belonging to their bank account or them car truck must stop.
Central Manchester Member of Parliament Peter Bunting is challenging Dr. Peter Phillips in a presidential election which will be decided on September 7. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark is lauding the recent passing of the bill for the Tourism Pension Fund. Speaking at the East Central St. James Education Fund yesterday, Dr. Clark pointed out that in addition to workers and employers contributing to the fund, the government is also invested in its success.
The government of Jamaica, to get it started, will be contributing to it $1 billion over a period of time, and thereafter the employee and the employer will contribute, and at retirement the employee will have the means by which to purchase an annuity.
But he notes that the pension scheme is more than just helping workers in the industry. Dr. Clark says this single fund will give additional boost to the economy.
This will increase the pool of domestic savings that we have, that will stimulate further investment and will build the social fabric of the country. It is crucial and it is important so that the economic gains are shared by all Jamaicans.
Consumers are being told to expect increased prices for ground provision as farmers continue to grapple with the prolonged dry conditions. Farmers have reportedly been losing many crops in the fields because of water shortages. Some have also been cutting back on the crops they plant to ensure they have enough water to irrigate their farms. President of the Jamaica Agricultural Society, Lenworth Fulton, says this means there will be less produce available for sale.
It will lead to shortage of ground provision and increased price. You will see prices going up for sweet potato, for Irish potato, pumpkin, as I said, the vegetables and all of that. You will see the shortage coming out.
Proposed legislation relating to occultism in Jamaica could tighten rules for some people who practice obeah. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck recently told the House of Representatives that his ministry is looking to repeal the 1898 Obeah Act, which makes it an offense to practice obeah. However, speaking with our news center, Mr. Chuck stressed that the government is not planning to legalize obeah. He said the idea is to institute more modern rules which will address issues such as scamming.
Well, in updating the laws, the legal department advised me that they would look at a broader bill that would cover matters such as scamming, occultism, and similar activities where the sick, the elderly, the weak, and the vulnerable are fleeced by fraudulent and deceptive means. So people, are led to believe that by some trickery that they can be healed or they can have matters dealt with by some supernatural means. And in those circumstances, we need to make the law much more effective to protect the people of Jamaica.